Hey guys, pleasure to be connected with you. Thank you so much for watching this. This is not your normal light fluffy lemonade making machine style video. This is actually something, it's quite a serious topic. There's no fun way to do it. And for that reason, I want to say that if you are somebody who gets triggered or emotionally affected by discussion around abuse and domestic violence, please stop watching now. If this is important to you, or if you know somebody who is affected by domestic violence or could be, or if you are somebody and you want to keep watching, please do. I know that this is sent with a lot of love for you and anyone that you care about that might be in this situation. We are realistically in a place where we all know somebody that is suffering as a victim from domestic violence. 10 million cases were reported last year, and that's just the ones that are reported. And as you can imagine, it's one of those crimes that very often doesn't get reported, sadly. And right now, in this moment of social distancing, we are in this horribly catastrophic storm of events where you have a situation where people are more tense, more anxious, less in control, and abuse so often, pretty much all the time, is about needing control. And nobody feels in control right now. So somebody who is at risk of doing abuse to somebody is at a heightened state. And also, we are being required to stay in. So anybody that is at risk at their home is in their home all day. They are around that abuser or potential abuser. They are in close quarters. Everything is tense. They cannot go somewhere and ask for help. Hospitals are turning away people right now. And so if they have an injury or they're concerned, they're not going to go. They also have no reason to leave the house. Quite often people who are victims of abuse go to work or go to social settings as a way to escape. And right now, we all know that's not possible. So this is a really frightening time. Yes, crime might be down 90%, but domestic violence reports are up, and that's just the ones that are being reported to the police, so you know that's a catastrophic level. So today I want to just bring that forward to everybody's attention, to be really aware. If there is someone in your life that you were concerned previously might be suffering as a victim of abuse, maybe you know they are. This can be verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. None of these are good, better, bad, worse. They're simply just not okay. And if you can think of somebody in your world that has fitted the category of somebody you're concerned about or know already, then this is something for you. And if not, but you've noticed a friend's been quite disconnected recently, or you haven't been able to hear from them, or you just got that funny feeling about someone in their life that they're living with, please listen and consider and pay attention. Yes, the predominant statistic is women in relationships, but it's also children. And especially right now with parents being so stressed about financial situations and life and what it looks like and being required to parent their children in an everyday setting. And it can be husbands or boyfriends, especially in LGBTQ relationships, we see it more. So coming from a place of personal experience, some ideas that might help. I like to think of 4 letters to help me. C-I-P-P, KIP, C-I-P-P. The first one is connect. Reach out. Be in connection with them. Text, call. Use many different forms of connection because some might be safe, some might not be. Maybe you have Messenger on Facebook, maybe some way to reach out. Sometimes writing things is dangerous because the abuser might be checking, so call. Keep your message as innocuous as possible. Don't be like, are you being abused? Simply say, are you okay? Do you need anything? How's life? What's going on? How are you feeling? Just ask really simple questions and try and read between the lines as much as you can as to whether they're capable of talking, whether there's nothing, and continue to connect. because it's going to probably take 2, 3, maybe 10 times of connecting before they might open up to you, especially if they're not in a safe setting at this time. And if they're being evasive, that could mean that that person is right near them. So some of the things you can do when you're connecting is give them a time point when you're going to connect. So even if you text and say, hey, why don't we chat tomorrow? Or do you want to go for a social distancing walk? Or give them a reason to do something. So maybe you could suggest, hey, I'm going to go shopping at this store. Do you want to do this together? Or, you know, for groceries right now, if you need essentials, or maybe offer to get their essentials. Or something that could be very smart is give them a task. Say, could you please help me? I can't go to the store, whatever. Would you mind dropping off groceries? This gives them a chance to get out of the house, to maybe make phone calls they might need to make, or to give a chance to connect with you. Really important though, if you're going to give them something to do and send them out or go walking, don't make it a secret. Make it a very public thing. Make sure that the potential abuser knows that you invited them, that it's not a secret, you're not afraid for them to know that you've asked, because if you keep it a secret, they might suspect or worry. And something that falls into the invitation category is when you create a secrecy sense, that can be more triggering to the abuser and cause more harm to the victim in the end, which leads me on to the next one, which is invite. So C is connect, I is invite. Invite the person to do things. So ask to FaceTime, or ask to join them on a happy hour video, or invite them for that walk, or invite them to help you. Keep inviting them and use different tactics of invitation. If a phone call doesn't work, try a video. Keep inviting. Don't judge. Don't try and read into it. Just keep going. You never know when they might accept it, and they're gonna feel your presence and feel your concern, and they might realize this is somebody that gets it or knows, and I need to reach out to them. But really important, same with the, you know, secrecy, is if they keep saying no to your invitation, don't push, because they may know full well that when they go out in the world or they do something, that the consequences are far worse than doing nothing. Because quite often what can happen is if you invite someone out, that abuser will get very afraid, and so when they come back, there'll be interrogations and questions about what did you say, what did they do, did you tell them, and it can get way worse. So if they reject your invitation, please accept that. The next one, P, is be present. Something that can be really valuable is just being present in the world. Turn up and drop something off. Keep texting, keep calling, keep commenting. Make it known to the abuser that you are present in their world. Quite often abusers take advantage of someone's isolation, especially right now, because they know they're not going to get caught. They know they're not going to get trouble, and they enjoy that control of, I have this person isolated, and so I can do whatever I want. If they get a sense that you're there, they might change, especially connecting with them. Involve them. Offer to FaceTime with both of them. If you're a couple, if you and your partner want to say, hey, why don't you and your partner jump on a FaceTime? We'll have a couple's date FaceTime. Being present, inviting them into it, making them part of it. If you go around to drop something, ask if the partner's in. Say, oh, I just wanted to say hi. If you make your face present, there's a lot less chance. And what's unique about this is because you do that, the abuser quite often is feeling alone, is feeling undervalued, is feeling like they don't have anything to grasp onto. And if you make them feel important by wanting to see them, their behavior might go down. So reach out to the partner. And that's another thing. If it actually could be the most powerful tactic to talk to them, the abuser, that might be a way to get around this right now. If you know that your friend, the one that you're caring about, the victim, is not going to speak up, is not going to do anything, but if you know that by making the abuser feel valuable, by reaching out, by staying in contact, by asking them how they're doing, might have an effect, that might be the best thing you can do right now, and actually the biggest support. Because I do want to say, this is not about someone being a bad person. An abuser, as hard as this is to hear sometimes, is a very hurt, very pained, very damaged human being who's doing terrible things. They're not a terrible person, they're doing terrible things. And we need to keep that in mind when you're thinking about this abuser. How could you actually help the abuser feel better about themselves? You know, if it's a big control thing and you have the situation to offer them control over something, maybe you could ask them to do something to help. Maybe you could give them tasks to do to remove them from the situation of your friend who's the victim and give them control, or just offer them support. Ask them if they're okay. It could be that simple. Maybe they'll vent to you and not physically or emotionally or verbally to the victim. So connect, invite, and be present, especially if this is about children. If you're a coach, a teacher, a community member, a volunteer, someone that's been a mentor in a child's life and you can't connect with them right now, but you're worried, you knew that the parent or a guardian has a tendency to be overly strict or abusive, or you're worried this situation, be present. Find a way to get into their lives in a non-invasive way. Call up, text, ask how everything's going, reach out to the parent and the guardian. Maybe they need your help. Let the child know that you're still there. Let the child know that you're available if they need it, because they might reach out for help. So that leads to the final one. When you've connected, you've invited, and you're present, if it does get to a point where that victim is willing to say to you, help, I do need help. If they can get to a safe place to call, if they can get to a safe destination or moment to say to you, I'm not okay, or I'm worried, or I'm afraid this is going to happen. The fourth letter, the P, is for plan. Make a plan. There's a lot of incredible resources online on the domestic abuse hotline that is available. I'll put the link down here. On this is a lot of incredible resources for planning, safety plans, things like finding a safe place in the house to talk, or a safe word that you could use that could be text, just so you know that things have got serious and what you're going to do. We so often want to be the saviors here. You cannot be a savior in this situation, especially right now when there's so many tenuous circumstances of not being able to get somewhere, not having a safe place to go, and potentially being returned back into the realm of the abuser. You cannot save your friend, but what you can do is create a safety plan that makes them comfortable. Are they comfortable having you call the police if things get worse and you get the safe word and you've talked about what that will mean? Yes. Make that part of your plan. If part of the safety plan might be finding a place for them to go, because do not encourage your friend to leave until they have a safe place to go where the abuser cannot find them, or they are safe from the abuser. So these are some of the safety plans that you can plan for if it is that point. Most of all, most importantly, share with them this hotline number below. What's great about this hotline is chat's also available. So you can go to the website. If they can't speak, they're afraid of being heard, you can chat online 24 hours a day. But calling this hotline, if your friend gives you permission to call on their behalf, maybe that's part of the safety plan. If you're worried about a friend and you see that these situations and all the moments are happening, you can call that hotline too and ask for advice. None of us are experts at this other than the experts, but we can be looking out for the warning signs, like serious isolation where they're not responding. Obviously, we're all isolated. Someone who has changed their behavior, or just someone that you knew was at risk of being in this situation and avoids their house. If you know of somebody, be extra vigilant right now and watch the behavior and connect, invite. Be present in their life, and if they give you permission, make a plan. I really thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. I know this is a really long video. There's no way you can do this in a short way. But there are many positives that are coming out of this time of connection with our family and friends. And unfortunately, with everything, there's sometimes negatives, and this is one of the big ones. So if you have any questions, or if you are at risk, please reach out to the hotline, call a friend, text a friend in a safe way, and ask for help. And remember that we're all here to support you. And if I'm that safe person for you, just because you got to watch this video, please reach out. There are people here who love and support you and will help. You're not alone. Thanks.